Kenny released this video called "The Main Problem with Every NBA Team." I want to hear my guys' analysis, bro.
Every single team is flawed. Some of our teams are more flawed than others, as you know. But every single team has its flaws. And today, we're looking at one surprise problem from every NBA team from Bleacher Report. Today's Thursday, which means that is the drop of the Kenny Beecham podcast. On this episode, we talked about the Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green scuffle, and I kind of went in more than what I anticipated. But I was really passionate about this. You should go check it out. The link is in the description. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify as well. These articles where it's not a singular person.
Damn, a react to a react is what we're doing today. Okay.
It's an entire group of people. Writing is always super cool because you get so many different perspectives. It's not just one mind. It's at least two. I don't know how many people are on the Bleacher Report staff. At least two. At least. First one is the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young's icy shooting. This season.
For the Hawks, Trae Young's icy shooting.
Trae Young is shooting 35% from the field, 28. Yeah, we'll round up.
I'd say right now,
28% from the field or from the three, which is just so much worse than what we're used to. And last year, of his 42% and 33.
Yo, this dude is an elite fucking bannovator, bro. This gotta be the same dude. I don't even know if y'all see him. But literally on my side, there was a dude called BSOLZ Jr. And now it says likely ban evader restricted. Gotta be the same dude. Gotta be the same dude, chat. No way.
3% from three. That was a down year. I don't know how much of a sample size we need
y'all don't even see him
to say that this 2021-2022 season was the outlier, but boy, could they use this guy versus this guy, you know?
His name is literally BSOLZ Jr.
Every single other one of his years in his career is not close to that level of efficiency, then maybe this is the outlier. I don't know. They had that version of Trae Young with this roster. They be looking kind of dangerous. Now they're cool, but they not looking too crazy because he can't get his stuff together. Still a little stagnant. So the Boston Celtics are a team that we mentioned everybody has their flaws. They're a team with not a lot of them, but to be inclusive.
Still a little stagnant. I ain't gonna lie. It's the bench, bro. Listen. The bench has actually been performing better lately. Sam Hauser's been balling out. Peyton Pritchard's been doing more than just scoring, and even his scoring is caught up a little bit. Luke Kornet's been putting in minutes, but I'm still not confident in that rotation, though, deadass.
Well, all 30 teams that talked about, we have to find something. And it being a little stagnant, I think you can see that with the eye test. Also, the percentages back it up with them having the 21st and assist percentage. I still think that it's not going to matter too much. I don't believe they're going to finish 21st. I think they're going to finish in the top half. But, yeah, we just have to find a reason for them, and that's it. Next, we got the Brooklyn Nets disappointing defense, which is interesting. Before the season started, I questioned how they were going to score.
A lot of people were gassing up that Brooklyn defense.
Nicholas Claxton when he's healthy, Ben Simmons when he's healthy, and even Cam and Dorian Finney-Smith. These are all positive defensive players, and they haven't been able to put it together defensively. It's the offense that's been carrying them so far this year, which is something I couldn't have expected. Too many fouls for the Charlotte Hornets. I think you could have anticipated that. Young teams don't defend, and young teams commit fouls. So I don't think this is a problem that we didn't see coming, but it definitely is a problem. Something we didn't see coming is DeMar DeRozan missing his mid-range game. Yes, because that is 85% of DeMar DeRozan's value is that mid-range game. So if he's not performing at least to his averages, then he's not being an impactful NBA player, and that's what we're seeing right now. I don't want to talk about that.
Damn, he fucking
next,
agreed.
Darius Garland shooting. DG to PG's been in and out of the lineup a ton. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Even his assist-to-turnover ratio is way lower than what it's used to being. The Cavs just had a couple big wins on the road, though, so shout out to them. But I look at Darius Garland and his frame of work and saying that the jump shot is one thing I wouldn't be worried about too much. The Josh Green stagnancy is there for the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah,
I think with the Mavs, they're just too streaky. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand they got some talent on them. Definitely much more than I thought. But not, especially during high leverage games, I could see a game where Grant Williams, Kyrie, even Luka. Luka can be streaky at times too, chat. Like, a Luka stinker is a Luka fucking stinker. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of, like, very valuable pieces on that team that are way too streaky for my liking. And maybe streaky's the wrong word, but I could just visualize them in the playoffs, like two of Grant Williams, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Kyrie, like, choking. But I don't know. Volatile. Volatile is probably a better word. Volatile is probably a better word.
Definitely thought this was going to be a very good year for him. I thought that the contract that he signed was like a bargain, 3 years, $41 million. I'm like, oh yeah, he gonna outperform that, and so far he hasn't. Luckily, the Dallas Mavericks offense is so very good that they haven't needed him. But obviously, his defensive impact is what they need the most. But they're able to win a bunch of games with just their offense. So I'll give him more time. Christian Braun not building off his rookie campaign. I think he's been smooth so far. But yeah, he hasn't been able to fill the role that you're missing in like Bruce Brown and so on and so forth. Luckily, another one of those teams with not a lot of flaws. Even
for the Nuggets, I mean, it's just another way of saying it. But yeah, I think they lost Bruce Brown. And they're trying to find ways of, you know what I'm saying, fill that hole that Bruce Brown left. Pause. And Christian Braun, that's just some big shoes to fill, especially for that squad. Is Christian Braun ready for that step up? Maybe it's just too soon type shit, you know. And they lost Jeff Green too, so.
With Jamal Murray out, they're still taking care of business. So this is very minor in the grand scheme of the Denver Nuggets. Jaden Ivey's diminished playing time. Yeah. Monty Williams came in and said, hey, we want to try to build a defensive identity. So even though Killian Hayes is not as good of an offensive player as Jaden Ivey, not as good of an offensive scorer as Jaden Ivey, we're willing to put Killian Hayes in the starting lineup because we want to.
They hoeing Jaden Ivey, man. God. Yo, Damo's onto something with Monty, man. Those lineups are looking sus. And I'm going to be honest, when we have watched the Pistons, like, Killian's been looking all right. He hasn't been the worst, but I'm just saying, bro. Y'all drafted Jaden Ivey top 5 last year. He had a decent rookie year, especially post All-Star break, and y'all are just gonna bench dude in a progression year with Cade finally healthy. Yo, free Jaden, dog. Free fucking Jaden.
Get this culture of defense, and because of that, we've seen Jaden Ivey
gonna turn him into
out of the rotation, but not
Lou
a starter.
Will.
And his
what the
minutes
fuck,
have dropped
dog?
down dramatically. He's had a couple DMPs for reasons. Not saying that it's coach's decisions, but it's just something we didn't anticipate, considering he was their pick from last year. And you want their team to be Cade Cunningham, former first overall pick, and Jaden Ivey be in the backcourt, but we don't know if that's going to be the case because of this, the demise of their best 5-man unit.
I think what's going on with the Warriors, the league is just caught up. I think ultimately we can walk around the issue so much. It's not that the Warriors are ass. They still have good players. It's just for the longest time they had such a they were ahead of the curve for a minute. They were ahead of the curve for a minute. The reason why Draymond, those small ball lineups worked was because of the fact that there were a lot of slow-footed big men in the league. You know what I'm saying? So when they ran Draymond out there, they were running motherfuckers out the building. Dead ass. Running motherfuckers out the building. But now that that's just the norm, I don't know. It just doesn't hit the same type shit.
Where nobody in their starting lineup is living up to expectation right now. Klay Thompson is as inefficient as he's ever been in his career. Luckily, we saw him start
seeing Klay shoot 40% from 3 on 9 threes used to look crazy. You know what I'm saying? But now, how many players are shooting 8+ threes a game? There's a lot of them. Shit just isn't as special as it used to be, you know?
Off inefficient last year, then he put it together later in the season. Wiggins, I don't know what the heck happened to the Wiggins that helped them win that championship. He is completely gone on the scoring, on the defense.
I think Wiggins has a complacency problem. I don't want to speak too much on Andrew Wiggins' character, but I'm just looking at the arcs of his career. And like he did what he needed to do to get to the number 1 pick. But then once he got into the league, I'm gonna be honest with you, Chad, I don't think he improved that much from his rookie year to his 4th, 5th season. I think we were having similar conversations about who were we having? LaMelo. We were having similar conversations about LaMelo. Like what has he actually improved on since his rookie year? And then when there was a lot of pressure put on him, so again, so coming into the league, I don't think he improved that much. He did what he needed to do to get to that big contract, and after that, like, hey, motherfuckers just gave up on Andrew Wiggins for real, because it looked like the way he was playing, it just looked like, okay, he got the bag and now he's just chilling type shit. But then there was a lot of pressure put on him. He was being called a bust, and then he went to Golden State to change that narrative. You know what I'm saying? Prove everyone wrong. And he did that for his first couple of years there. I think his first year there. I forgot when he came. But specifically in 2022, proved everyone wrong. Everyone fucking wrong. Fuck is y'all talking about? Integral part of a championship team. All-star starter. So now that he can say that, it's like, what else does he have to prove type shit? So
on the rebounding, on the playmaking, he has regressed completely over the first couple games.
What else does he have to prove?
Draymond Green can't keep his hands to himself. So the unit that had been the best starting lineup in basketball last year is now not that. They also have been a victim of like really good shooting, like absurd and great shooting from opposing teams when this line.
Hey, shout out to Someone Love for the 2 months, man. I don't know why I said it like that. Shout out to you for the 2 months, bro. Appreciate it.
Lineup is out, but it doesn't look perfect where nobody else in the starting lineup has been able to drop a 20-point game when Steph is playing. Clay hasn't had a 20. Wiggins hasn't had a 20. Like, those are crazy things to say 4 weeks into the season. I don't even know. It's so deep into the season. So, yes, a -17, which is crazy. Fred VanVleet, 2-point shooter. I think we could have saw this coming. Fred VanVleet has never been a great 2-point shooter. His value is not in that. His value is in him being able to play make, which he's doing a great deal right now. His value is him being a good defender, even though he's undersized. His value is that leadership, and you're seeing that a part of the Houston Rockets, where, like, even though he can't hit his shots efficiently or what we deem to be efficient, he's still a quality player for what they're doing. Oh, but he's struggling even by his.
Hey, chat, I'm gonna put chat in sub-only mode for a minute. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but hey, sub-only gang type shit, all right?
Standards. Oh, the transition offense is just okay. They have the #1 offense in basketball, and it's not even a transition. You look at what their team has put together.
If you're trying to talk, you're going to have to pay attention.
It's their half-court that's killing it. And if they ever get this part up, I don't know how you guard this team. Because if they can also run with the best and their half-court offense is the best, it's like, boy, they going to put up a ton of points every single night. The hapless.
Wait, transition offense is just okay? I thought that was Tyrese's whole thing. It was the fact that he's just pushing the fucking pace. What? Am I tripping on that? I thought that was their whole thing, was that their transition offense was actually great. But
they can also run with the best and their half-court offense is the best. It's like, boy, they going to put up a ton of points every single night. The hapless start to the James Harden era. I don't know what that word means. I understand bringing out the thesaurus every once in a while, so I respect that. The unfortunate.
The hapless start, that's such a. I mean, is that really a nitpick? That just sounds like what the fuck is going on with them right now. Again, like I said on the pod, I think the bigger problem with them is just. It's that rim protection, bro. I know I'm making such a big deal out of it, but we can talk James Harden, Kawhi all we want. You know what I'm saying? One, I think James Harden actually has a decent amount of. He's actually been playing well. #1. #2, Kawhi Leonard. Listen, I don't expect Kawhi to play like this for the rest of the season. So I expect Kawhi to pick it up at some point. He is just adjusting. But that big man position. They are relying on Zubac to be something he's not. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Zubac is ass, but the same issues I have with the Phoenix Suns. Zubac is not a defensive anchor. You're asking like Rudy Gobert expectations from him out there with the level of rim protection that he needs to compensate for. He's just not that dude. Daniel Tice, great pickup for them. Especially with their big man rotation right now. But again, Daniel Tice is also not that dude. I don't know who they expect Daniel Tice to be, but he is just not that dude. That's gonna move the needle for them. Russ, I think, has been playing fine too. Paul George, he's been cool. I think Ty Lue, we can have conversation about some of the sets that he's running, but I think he's also trying to make best of what he got right now. I think he's a coach that realizes that for this structure to work, yeah, the ball does need to be in James Harden more often than not. Because if it's not, James Harden is not going to perform well. And I'd rather have Paul George and Kawhi play off the ball, something that they're actually capable of and have the abilities to do, compared to James Harden and relying him to just be an off-ball player. Like, I'd rather bet on the former than the latter. But, yeah, I think Ty Lue is trying his best. That big man rotation is just ass, dog. It's buns.
start of the James Harden era. Yeah, I don't think anybody, and even the people that were so down in the street.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying Daniel Tice is not
the fact
bad.
That they'd be winless after
I'm not
five
saying
games.
that at all.
Nobody
Daniel Tice
would
is actually
expect
cool.
that. So yeah, that is a problem.
I'd love for the Celtics
Again,
to get
mentioned
him.
in my video a few
Love
days
for the
ago.
Celtics to get him,
They're
but
doing
it's too
some
late
things
now.
that I think could be interesting once they start hitting their shots. I don't think this is the end all be all. But it has been not, let's just say, not great. Austin Reeves, yes, Austin. Now since he cut his hair, because that was something, he's been better. But a lot of people expected him to hit a step. He's already 25 years old, and I'm not saying that ends his progression or anything, but 25 is older as far as young prospects go. He has not hit the next step that a lot of us were anticipating. He does not look like the same player that we saw in FIBA a couple months before that. And in due time, maybe he gets there, but it hasn't been that way. Like they were really
been their biggest problem.
Or really interested to see Austin Reeves as their third best player. And I guess you can argue he still has been their third best player, but he hasn't been to the level that they thought he could.
Yeah, Daniel Tice should be a Celtic, man.
That's unfortunate.
Okay.
Oh,
the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's been
John
a rough
Morant.
time for the Grizzly fans.
If they want to be more specific, it's John Morant.
And now John Morant is tweeting again after a little scuffle. Yeah, everything. For sure. You couldn't. Nobody expected this. I expected this team to be decent when John Morant was gone, and now they got Steven Adams out, Brandon Clark out, Derrick Rose out. They missed Luke Kennard for some time, Santi Aldama for some time. It has not been pretty. I have not watched much of them because the games that I have watched were ugly. Kyle Lowry's usage rate, interesting. Over 100 players are averaging at least 29 points per game this season, and only one of them, Mitchell Robinson, has a lower usage rate than Miami Heat starting point guy Kyle Lowry. I've been watching a lot of Heat recently because they've been a fun watch, and Bam Adebayo and Jaime Jaquez have been tearing it up in their own respective rights. I never really recognized the fact that Kyle Lowry's usage was that low. Like, of course, it's hard not to recognize that the point guard is not playing the true point guard position, but I didn't think he would have as low of a usage rate than Mitchell Robinson, who's a lob guy. Yikes. It's working. That's all you can ask for right now. The ceiling is maybe a question, but it's working at the moment. Makes him kind of expendable in a potential trade with a player and their team. The inexplicable Shabby. What is happening? That's what happens when you have 14 people working on one article. You start getting people that just bring out the words. That's not even a big word. It's just a difficult word. The inexplicably shabby defense. I don't think this was something that...
Listen, all I'm saying is, man, that week Damon Drew got traded. Motherfuckers had a lot to say about that Celtic defense. Chat. A lot to say about that Celtic defense. Or that backcourt, that front court, barbecue chicken, Kristaps and Al Horford. What the fuck is that going to do? Who the fuck is guarding Giannis and Embiid? Huh? Never thought about who the fuck is guarding all these backcourt players in the league. What the fuck? God damn. What y'all think? What y'all think Dame was gonna do, dog? What the fuck?
We didn't see coming. A lot of us recognize that when you sacrifice Drew Holiday to get into Damian Lillard, the defense wasn't going to be good.
Got the bread stacking for the follow, man.
It's 25th.
You're on sub-only mode right now.
You got a point. I didn't expect it was going to be
the 25th keep it on sub-only mode till the end of this.
The 25th best. However you word that. I knew it wasn't going to be good. I thought it might be league average, but 25th is just something. Now, early in the season, they were doing a lot of different coverages and stuff, and I think they're starting to realize, we probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, can you win a championship with a 25th ranked defense? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Karl-Anthony Towns, outside volume. They're just saying that they're nitpicking because the Wolves have been so good, and they want to see Karl-Anthony Towns get more three-point shots up. Simple. I like to see that the last 3-4 games or so, we're seeing a better version of Karl-Anthony Towns after a very slow start. Last night they got destroyed.
I think they need stronger guard play.
Another good performance.
Outside of Ant.
Silver lining of all of this is that Cat looks better than what he did over the first 2 weeks.
I personally still think, and even though the Timberwolves are actually rolling, I still think personally they would still operate better if they traded one of Cat or Rudy Gobert. In my opinion, they should trade Cat. But I'm just saying, like, Cat still has a decent amount of value, and I would love to see that roster construction be more so catered towards Ant's play and Rudy Gobert's rim protection, and see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Also give more PT to Jada McDaniels. Love to see how that Timberwolves roster would look.
The best player minutes. Where do we start off with the Pelicans, man? So
Zion's a problem. Zion's a problem, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like their plans are still contingent on Zion being a him player, period, point blank. And if Zion is not headed in that direction, they deadass should consider blowing it up, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Deadass. If Zion doesn't lead them to a 55-win team in the next 2 years, we might have to give up on this experiment, dog. No cap. Because that team actually has a decent amount of talent on them. And I swear to God, like, if Zion was just a him player, which is why they drafted him, like, they would actually be a championship contender. But if he's not going to reach that potential, if he's maxing out at a top 20 player, closer to 20 than 10, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it, dog. I don't think he's a bust, though. I don't think he's a bust.
Ingram and Zion on the floor together.
Well, we just got to be realistic with who this dude is going to be.
Zion on and Ingram off is a -10. Ingram on, Zion off is a -12. And with both of them off, it is a plus 3.3. And that's a good value compared to the other ones. I don't know what to think about that. Now, they have had so many injuries. This is just to name the players that have been injured right now. CJ, Larry, Jose, Trey, and Herb. So, like, they haven't got the full grasp of their team because they haven't been healthy just yet. But we've seen... Let me see how much time we've seen of these players together. Okay, small sample size this year. Because throughout their times of playing together, they have a net rating of 5.
What website is this?
I was hoping this wasn't a good old-fashioned Chicago Bulls instance that your team is bad when your best 2 players are on the court. It's just happening this year, a -6.7. I would assume that's going to go up.
Yo, these guys, man, that's sort of God.
Because, and CJ, I guess, because they need playmaking and they also need other shooting. I'm not worried about the Jalen Brunson's floaters MIA. That feels very nitpicky. So he was a 49% shooter in that area. Now it's down to 34%.
Wait, Jalen Brunson is the problem for the New York Knicks? Is that what I just fucking read? Are you serious? Jalen Brunson's floater? I need y'all to see this, chat. Out of all the things to nitpick, Jalen Brunson's floater. Oh, yo. The biggest problem for the New York Knicks is Julius Randle. It's Julius Foolius Randle, bro. And he's actually been picking up over the last couple of games, so I will give him that. But we're talking about the dude who averaged 25 last season, your All-NBA big man, dropping 6 points. Dropping 6 points. Everything else is actually relatively either, if anything, improved or stayed the same. So, same dude averaging 6 less points a game. His field goal percentage dropped by 10%. His 3-point percentage, which was already below league average percentage-wise, dropped by 6. And his free throw percentage dropped by 5%. I don't know how you look at this team. And I understand Jalen Brunson hasn't had the strongest start to the season, but Jalen Brunson is, yes, shooting 42% from the field, but that 46% from 3 is really impressive. 82% is fine. He's still averaging 23 a game, 5 assists on low turnovers. To nitpick so much that you're talking about Jalen Brunson's floater over the big man, the All-NBA big man shooting 36% from the field, that's insane. That's insane.
MIA. That feels very nitpicky. So he was a 49% shooter in that area. Now it's down to 34%. Whatever. Josh Giddey up and down starts. Yeah, this was something that I was really looking forward to with Josh Giddey playing the way he did in FIBA and everything. I think the OKC Thunder were maybe expecting a jump from him, and it hasn't really been that. You have games like this one against the Spurs where he was one of the best players on the court, and we've had other games where he completely was a non-factor and didn't even close out games. So, when you have a player of his age of just 21 years old, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs. And I think that most of us look at young players and think that progression is linear. Oh, he played this many games last year, he should be better this year. That's not the way it works a lot of the times, and it's going to take some time to adjust to adding another guy in the rotation like Chet Holmgren. So I'm not too worried about Josh Giddey's up and down start, but it is something that maybe we didn't anticipate because of how well he
All right,
looked.
Chat, after this we'll get into the Drake drop type shit. So
earlier and how well he looked at the end of last season. The resilience of Jonathan Isaac. I watched John Isaac last night kind of put his imprint on a Chicago Bulls game because he was everywhere. So to see him back on the court is cool because y'all know when he was drafted, he's one of my favorite prospects because of the defense. And then obviously over the last couple of years, he has been able to play for multiple reasons. So to see him finally on a court and in a rotation is good, and I like that for him. The 76ers are giving up too many shots at the rim, essentially because their defense is still one of the best in the league. So that might be the one thing they got to figure out. A lot of that is just like preventing your man from getting to the basket. It's not a Joel Embiid issue as much as it is the perimeter players not staying in front of their guys and preventing.
Philly, I think for me their main problem is there's still weaknesses in Joel Embiid's game that are still there. That I think ultimately, when your best player has those deficiencies, is going to hold them back. Like, I think Joel Embiid deadass still has a turnover problem, no cap. I'm just keeping it a bean. I understand Tyrese has been balling out, but he can only compensate for so much. Everyone else can only compensate for so much. So,
backdoor cuts and so on and so forth. It's something I didn't, I guess, recognize from all the games I've watched the 76ers because I would deem them to be a really good defense. I guess I didn't recognize that they were giving up so many layups and stuff. The big three availability or lack thereof. The pump fake that we got last night, I was so excited for Timberwolves versus Suns, and then to see that Brad was going to be out. It was cool to see Book come out and show out.
I'm going to be honest, Dre. I think that's a Drew Hanlon problem, dog. If you look at the players that Drew Hanlon trains, they all have that problem. They got too foul baity. They also have playmaking issues. Like, they're great scores, great isolation scores. Some of the best in the league. But deadass, if you look at the roster of players that Drew Hanlon trains, a lot of them have deficiencies in passing and playmaking. People don't really talk about that. And I'm going to be honest, it's one of those hunches that I just have that, yeah, we are not putting enough pressure on these NBA trainers that these players work with in terms of that accountability chart. So
Brad was going to be out again. I'm like, bro, no way. So eventually we should be seeing these boys play. And then we can find, I haven't talked about the Phoenix Suns because I haven't seen their team yet. We haven't seen their team yet. So Brad, get well soon. I can imagine getting off for midnight. DeAndre Ayton's offensive usage. Yeah, I thought that this, I wanted
Drake drop about to get toxic. Hey, we'll watch everything. We'll watch everything in a second.
He's not getting the amount of touches as he was last year. Not even close to the amount. And I kind of realize that, yeah, you're playing with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, two
Portland is everything, bro. Portland
is everything. Get more touches. And now he's playing with some players that can get in the ball, like Malcolm Brogdon and stuff. But for the most part, when you have young guards, they don't really facilitate as well as some of the. Chris Paul is one of the oldest men in the league. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, his offensive usage has gone down. I think he's looked good over the last couple of weeks individually.
I'm gonna go live on TikTok after this.
We're not seeing him get as many touches as he did in Phoenix because it's hard to get the ball when you're a center, unless you are the center. You feel me? Harrison Barnes' regression. They also have the struggling second-year player in Keegan Murray who can't find his jump shot at the moment. I guess that's not.
I think Keegan's been more of a problem for them. Am I tripping? Maybe we gotta look at it. Yeah. Y'all ever seen like a great bubble butt? Let me chill, man. Oh, Uzi's on the Has Drake and Uzi ever dropped anything? Keegan Murray, 39% Harrison. Man, what's up? All right, man. All right. I think Malik Monk has also been a bigger problem than Harrison Barnes, but maybe that's just me.
not a problem you worry about because he is a second-year player. It happens all the time. Through the first 9 games last season, he averaged under 10 points while knocking down 16% of his triples. Ugh. Since he dropped 33 on opening night, he's downing just 31.3% of his triples while getting rocked on defense and rebounding at a clip.
Getting rocked on defense.
Interesting. I guess I didn't recognize the slow start of Harrison Barnes. And it makes it, as a guy that is looking to trade Zach LaVine, it makes the Kings fans, the few Kings fans that hit me up, it makes sense. It makes a little bit more sense now. The cost
y'all think the Kings would trade Keegan Murray for Zach LaVine?
Of experimentation. I ain't got nothing to say about the Jeremy Sohan experiment at point guard. I ain't got nothing to say. I don't like it. That's all I'll say. So the one problem that they didn't see coming is that everybody else saw coming that this team was going to struggle. There's a lot of things to be fixed there in Toronto. They are as up and down as any team in the association. Where some games I watch, I'm like, man, they look pretty good. And then like the other night with no Giannis, they lose by 30 points to Damian Lillard and Malik Beasley. So it's like, whoa, there's so much gray area with this team where they look really good one night and then really awful the next. And a lot of us believe that this could be a possibility. I guess Masai and them didn't. And we got a couple more. The frontline weirdness, frontline combination.
I'm going to be honest. There are certain teams in the league that no one just cares about, bro. There's always a couple of those every single year. The Utah Jazz are one of them. The Washington Wizards are one of them. Shout out to Nareno for the 3 months. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. That'll be Nareno in chat. But Detroit, I don't know about Detroit. I think a lot of people care about Detroit. They got a lot of young talent on there that people want to see develop. But there's just certain teams. It's like you don't like Walker Kessler's cool, but he's just cool. He's just a cool guy. So.
Weirdness. I think this was predictable. When you have Walker Kessler, Larry Marketing, Kelly Olynyk, and then you add in John Collins, objectively, it's just going to be a tougher fit when all of this. Even though we've seen Larry Marketing play a good amount of 3 over the course of his career.
Not the Rockets.
He projects more as a 4. And now he's playing a lot more. All 3 of their bigs together,
Rockets.
They are a minus 20.
Bulls.
When there's
Bulls
no
are
Collins, they're a minus 9. And when there's no Marketing, they're a minus 6.
Literally, the only reason people care about the Bulls is because they're waiting for that team to blow up. But that's literally it. MP the light. Peace out, man. Peace out.
And when it is a no Kessler, they are plus
Hornets.
The small ball John Collins, Larry Marketing lineups are looking kind of good. It's actually their most used.
Nets are pretty close to it, too.
So just something to take a look out on.
I want to say fully, though. I want to say fully.
I guess a year or so. Jordan Poole's lack of counting stats. That's a good way to put it. I don't think many of us went into this thinking that Jordan Poole was going to average 25 on grade efficiency, but a lot of us.
I did. I ain't going to lie, man. I was very high on Jordan Poole as modern-day James Harden, man. Dude just needed to. I thought Jordan Poole was one of those dudes that just, hey, he needs the ball in his hands to be effective. And he is in a situation where he was going to get the ball. But he's just not the creator that I thought he was, I guess. El Creator.
I thought he would at least average 20.
He still got time.
I thought
but
he was easily a shoe-in for 20.
He still got time.
He ain't really close to that right now. 16.3 is the actual number. And he's playing less minutes now than he played over the last 2 years. Part of that is that the team is not normally in games, so he don't play a lot in fourth quarters. But still, he hasn't been able to score efficiently. Of course, you see the viral moments of him doing crazy stuff here or there. He has a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio as one of the prime ball handlers on his team. There's a lot of things looking bad about the Jordan Poole thing. There's a rumor that they traded for him to up his trade stock. They're doing a poor job of that through the first 11 games. What is a problem of your favorite team you didn't see coming?
I think Jordan Poole is Jamal Crawford. Great 6-man. But not building around fucking Jamal Crawford, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if y'all remember Jamal, but he was never really efficient like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, great guy to bring off the bench, but the Wizards are doing just giving Jamal Crawford first option opportunities, and he's just shit in the bed type shit, you know. But yo, shout out to Kenny for the video though. Great fucking video.